Okay, we are here back for another preview, the Partizan Belgrade Europa League preview on Full Time Devils. Joining me today is Hamza and John. Welcome to the channel, guys.
How are you, mate?
Why I'm saying welcome to the channel like you've never been here before. We were supposed to have Adam McCullough here as well, but he's stuck on the M6. He's stuck in traffic. He's not just gone flying through the windscreen. But so we're doing this preview without him. You've got big shoes to fill, boys. Are you up for it?
Hell yeah.
Well, they've got big feet. Right, away win. That's the most important thing here, lads. This is a chance for us to finally get a frigging away win. John, just how important has that become now?
I think it's very important. I honestly think this game is going to be probably Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's biggest game to date. And
Wow.
of course, last week it was Liverpool's game. It was the game versus Liverpool that was going to be the biggest game. But this game is that much important because this is the opportunity for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his boys to ride from a decent performance. I mean, that game against Liverpool was the closest thing to putting a smile on Manchester United fans' faces for quite some time. And granted, it wasn't a result, a 3-point result with a victory. I just think that Manchester United have the opportunity to really sort of try to find a way to turn their season around and an away win, which is crucial, something that we've been lacking for such a long time. I think it's going to be a big morale booster and as well as a stat booster for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his boys. And I think it's going to be a massive game.
Absolutely. Hamza, I know a lot of fans maybe don't really care about the Europa League too much, but we need to care for this game, don't we, to finally get that away win?
Yeah, we do, especially for our away record. It's absolutely been poor. Our last away game was actually in the European competition. It was against PSG away. Well, historic night it was. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to get that win, especially on his name, because a lot of fans are already only out, to be honest. And I think this is the match where the youngsters could get that win.
Do you think Ollie needs a win in this one? Do you think? I mean, I know it's not a case of if he loses, he gets sacked or anything like that, but it's so important for him now, isn't it, Hamza?
Well, to be honest, it is Europa League, and if you think about it, we've only got 4 points, and our group, to be honest, is quite crap. So if we do get this win, we'll be comfortable in the upcoming 3 games in the table, and then you can just carry on with the youngsters. If not, and if you do lose the game, then you'll have to maybe put the full team out.
Okay, talk to us about those youngsters then. Triple G, we're calling it. Gomez, Garner, Greenwood. How many of those guys need to start this game, John?
I honestly think that in the beginning of the season, I stressed that I was here on Full Time Devils and I was harping on about how I felt like the Europa League needs to be the league for the kids. I was saying how severely lacking we are in terms of the depth of the squad, and that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to need to utilize his squad to the fullest extent in terms of prioritizing the league and trying to sort of push on the responsibilities of the Europa League to the kids. But as the season's now progressed, we're already in towards the end of October, closing in on November and December. I really think that Europa League needs to be taken a little bit more seriously now. Jose actually came out on Sky Sports during the end of the game against Liverpool, and he said if Manchester United want to get into the Champions League next season, they have to go through the Europa League. There's no way they're going to make it into the top 4. And whether or not you like to agree or disagree with Jose Mourinho, one thing is certain is the chances of us getting to Champions League via the top 4 route is getting slimmer and slimmer as the day goes by. I mean, of course, we never know. Maybe the end of December might change things dramatically. But what we do know for certain is we do have the option via the Europa League. So I think we need to take it a little bit more seriously. And with that being said, just because I'm mentioning the word serious doesn't mean that we still can't incorporate kids. I think it's crucial that we do allow the Triple G to really get involved in the Europa League, because it's the perfect opportunity for the kids to be able to showcase their talent and perhaps find a way through the Premier League 11 or through the domestic 11. But at the same time, I think we need to take it a little bit more seriously and make sure that we have the right balance of youth and quality and talent and against any opponent in the Europa League, because we need to take it a little bit more seriously than we'd had perhaps thought in August or something like that.
It's absolutely, because I do think a lot of United fans, me included, have been dismissive of the Europa League and saying, we're not that level. We're a team that are higher than the Europa League. We're better than that. And the truth is, we're probably not this season. And if we do actually finish this year outside the top four, but with a Europa League title, that's a massive positive and a great season, is it not, Hamza?
Yeah, it is, and I think this is, as John said earlier, this is the competition that we will be seeing the youth often. Especially for the Premier League, it's been a poor start in the Premier League, and if you just keep continuing using the youth in the Europa League, you'll find a way that, look, to be honest, the youth are good enough for the first team. Especially Greenwood, Gomez, even Chong to a certain extent. They both got the potential of being brilliant, world-class players. But if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does not play them, especially in these Europa League games, and continue playing these low, they will not get to the potential. And at the moment, we are seeing that Greenwood and Gomez, they're fantastic players. And if you just continue using them, it'll be perfect.
Would you start all three of them, Hamza? Gomez, Garner and Greenwood?
I would love to start all three of them, but I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will play Garner.
Okay, well, we'll get your predicted 11s next then. John, what's your predicted 11 for this one against Partizan Belgrade, mate?
I'm gonna go 4-2-3-1, and I'm gonna go. I know. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer mentioned something about formations and how I think he mentioned something about how he liked the three at the back, but I'm gonna go 4-2-3-1 for now. I'm still not too sold on that idea of three at the back just yet. So I'm going to go Romero at the back. My back four is going to be Brandon Williams. I want to go Marcus Rojo, Phil Jones, and I was thinking Wan-Bissaka, but I'm gonna see if we can have Tuanzebe in the squad. We need to make sure that we're not exhausting our players. And Wan-Bissaka has obviously just returned from injury, so it might not be the worst idea to have him try to get in a run of games again. But at the same time, I'm a bit hesitant, so I'm gonna go with Tuanzebe there.
John,
Yes.
ask you about the defence and about Tuanzebe. He was obviously supposed to start the Liverpool game, got injured in the warm-up. Do you think that after the game, because I don't think Lindelof covered himself in a lot of glory, that goal would have been all his fault if it didn't get ruled out for handball, of course. Do you think that Axel has maybe taken Victor's spot already this season?
Not necessarily. I think he has a little bit more to go in that respect. But hey, don't get me wrong. Seeing Axel Tuanzebe to perform like this, this is the season for him to really sort of start to cement his name in this squad. And his last few performances have been nothing short of. I'm hesitant to say the word brilliant, but it's been great. It's really been great. Yes, and I wouldn't mind that. And I know he was injured, but I think it might have been more of a precautionary measure. Sorry. So I think he probably will feature, but if not, it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's either Tuanzebe and Aaron Wan-Bissaka in that right back role. So from midfield, I'm gonna go for Fred and McTominay. I think Matic is still injured, if I believe, my front four, I'm gonna go Greenwood. I'm gonna go Martial up top. I'm gonna go Gomez on my left, Mata down the middle with Greenwood on the right.
Oh, that's lightweight up top, innit?
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? They should have enough really against Partizan Belgrade. But you worry about these teams, don't you? Because they might just come out and try and hit you.
Mm-hmm. They are. No, to be honest with you, like. It's not over the years. We've always labeled the Europa League as a competition that's going to be so easy, and these ridiculous teams are going to be coming from freaking halfway across Europe and things like that. But right now, given our depth in the squad and given our current condition and whatnot, I think every game is going to be a lot more difficult, and it's not going to be that easy. So. That obviously is refuting my point in terms of the thinness up top, but I think we have the right amount of quality with Martial and Mata to be able to sort of balance the youth level, the youth in terms of Greenwood and Gomez being incorporated in there. It would have been nice to see Gardner start, but I just think Martial is probably going to. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is probably going to want to start Martial to try and get him some game time to get him back fit for his other preferred 11s in with respect to the Premier League and sort of things like that.
Definitely. Okay, Hamza, what's your starting 11, pal?
I'm going with Romero in it. Left back, I'm going with Williams. My centre back pairing, I'll go with. I think Transibi will be fit for this game. I think I'll go with Transibi and Max Rojo. And right back, I'll go with Wan-Bissaka. I think because obviously he has had that injury, and I think like giving him more game time, he'll get back to his usual best. In my midfield, I'm tempted to say Matic because I think he'll be back.
Put him in there. Put Matic in there if you want, Hamza.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm not. I've got afraid of McTominay. Matic is going to kill the game for the youngsters. He's going to spoil the night. So I'm not going to play Grandad Matic. I'm not going to play Grandad Matic. And then I'll play. Well, it's a 4-2-3-1, so I'll play Mata in the attacking midfield position. On the left, I'll play Gomez. Up front, I'll play Martial, and on the right, I'll play Daniel James. No, sorry, Daniel James on the left and Gomez on the right. I think because Martial does need game time, he's come back from injury. It's been like almost a month, and especially for this game, and if he gets his goals back, and Man United fans will be buzzing and they'll say Martial's back and he's already ready.
Decent shouts all round. Right. Well, I thought since Adam isn't here, was supposed to be here. He usually does a starting 11. I might as well come up with one off the top of my head. So I'm going to try and make sure I don't subconsciously steal either of your starting 11s here. So let me just put one together quickly. Right, so Romero will be the man in goal. To make it different straight away, I'm going to say Ashley Young left back. I think that's possible, and he'll be wearing the captain's armband. Phil Jones Rojo makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to go Phil Jones Rojo. Right back. Who is going to start at right back? Is it going to be Wan-Bissaka? How's Delo? How's Delo's fitness at the minute?
I believe he's still injured, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. All right, I'll put Wan-Bissaka in there just to be safe. We'll do a 4-2-3-1. Holding, I'm going to go Fred and... No, I'm not. I'm going to go Garner and McTominay. It's probably not going to be the case, but let's just do that. The three playing behind the striker, I'm going to go Gomez in the hole, number 10. On the left, Dan James. On the right, to Heath Chong, interchangeable. Up top, Anthony Martial. He's bagging a hat-trick. Back in form. United are back, Martial FC's back, and we're going to win the Europa League. Right, opposition, Partizan Belgrade is who they are. The only thing I know about them is they have Zoran Tosic in the team, a FIFA 2009 legend, I believe. So, John, what can you tell me about Partizan?
I mean, obviously, I don't really watch the Serbian league, but what I do know, I just did a bit of research, was that they're standing currently 5th in their own domestic league, I believe. And I think one thing to take note, I think if I can use this opportunity to reach out to some fans, is especially if you're traveling, especially if you're going to be traveling, you have to be careful because these fans are wild. I think they were reprimanded recently for throwing flares at the opposition fans, and I think the last 2 Europa League matches. They're currently sitting joint top with us right now, but I think they played behind closed doors the last 2 games due to some poor behavior. And these fans are wild. So the footballing could be awesome. That's great, but I think safety comes first, especially out here. You saw what happened. With England versus Bulgaria. The racist chants. I mean, racism can happen anywhere else, but to see it in Bulgaria was awful. You don't want to see anyone getting hurt or anyone being abused in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not calling out Partizan Belgrade and saying that every single person that there's doing that, but they were recently reprimanded for that matter. So I just want to make sure that fans are okay, especially if you're going to be traveling.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the main thing. Hamza, do we know anything about Partizan Belgrade on the pitch?
Not really. All I know is that they're in our group and we're going to beat them on Thursday.
That's it, Hamza. That's all that matters, innit? We don't need to know anything about them apart from the fact they are in the group and we're going to beat them. John's right, though. You know, if they are quite a rowdy fan base, we've seen that these ultras can make quite a bit of trouble, especially for travelling fans. Do be careful if you are going out there and, try and get yourself out of those situations when possible, and try not to aggravate people, I suppose, if you're travelling away. Right, guess the score. That's all we've got time for on today's preview. I'm going to go with, finally, we're going to win away from home. It's going to be a scrappy one, 1-0, and a last-minute header from Phil Jones. Sure, why not? Hamza, what score?
I'm to be honest, I'm quite confident with this game, especially the way that we played against Liverpool. I'm going with 3-1. Tony Marshall scores again.
Yes, that's what I'd love, actually. I'd love Martial to score, get on the road. So, yeah, I'm going to keep 1-0. I'm going to keep 1-0. John, what's your score, mate?
I'm not too confident that we'll finally get that insanely difficult away win. But I'm gonna say we're gonna win 2-0. Let's go 2-0. We'll do 2-0 victory.
I'd love a clean sheet as well in Europa League. That'd be brilliant. But yeah, it is a big game for us. If we do win, we're not through the group, but it puts us in a very good position to go forward and hopefully even win this competition. As we've said in today's preview, Manchester United aren't necessarily above the Europa League this year, so let's go for it. Guys, get your comments in below, what you've thought of everyone's opinions. Give us a subscribe. Go and subscribe to these guys as well. John, where can people find you?
You can look up YouTube, John Shin. Thanks to FullTimeDEVILS, the biggest John Shin in YouTube. You already know.
Hamza, do you have a YouTube or something we can plug, or Twitter?
I'm on Twitter. My name's Hamza706 UTD. And yeah, that's it.
Go and check him out.
Let's go.
Right, we'll see you next time, guys. Laters in a bit.